In this video, I'll be ranking most of the players I know on Little Gens. Alright, so I got my tier list here with like a lot of familiar players I play with all the time. And I'm just gonna straight up rate them on PvP skill, because that's like what the server's about. So first, I think we have Bacon Hair here. He's like okay. Mechanically, he's not like that great. I just don't see him in good gear all the time either. I think he's like a high D tier at best, so that's where I'm gonna put him. Maybe a low C tier, but for now, high T tier. Alright, so next we have 8QF. I think 8QF could be a low to mid B tier. Mechanically, he's alright. I've seen his webs are not bad, and he's not even bad geared half the time. I think he also got caught for toggling, but like, we'll leave that alone. But for now, I think he's like mid B tier. Alright, so after taking a look, I believe this is SR Light or Senior Light, whatever his name is. And he's like not terrible, like mechanically. Every time I fight him, I think it's always one-sided towards me, and he's like really overgeared. But like, he's part of a gang squad, and all they do is like the second he starts losing a fight, he jumps in mosh pit. So for that reason, I'm gonna put him in the low B tier. Until I see him like actually fight by himself, I can't rate him like anything higher. Okay, so I believe this is Render, and Render is actually pretty good. I think he has really weird knockback, if I gotta be honest. Like, his KB's, like, odd. He doesn't take it too often. But other than that, he's, like, a really simple player, and he has, like, high mechanics. He knows how to wall web and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna put him in A tier for that. Maybe, like, mid A tier. He's, like, not at all bad, and he's pretty above average as far as a player. Alright, next we got Immator. Immator is, like, decent. I don't think he's like great, but I don't think he's terrible whatsoever. I'm gonna say he's like in between. I think he's worse than SR Light actually. No, I'm gonna say he's like just better than SR Light. He also doesn't gank as much. All right, next we got Zero Parrot or O Parrot or just like Parrot, I think. Just like SR Light, he is such a gank main, but like he's like low key kind of decent. I've been putting his combos definitely multiple times, but I've definitely handed them out too. So I think he's like a okay player. I actually think he's probably gonna be like high A tier, maybe like mid A tier. No, I'm gonna say high A tier. I don't think he's bad whatsoever. All right, next I got Bliffy, and Bliffy's like S tier, right? He's the best player on the server, like hands down. I think that's all I have to say. Next we got Mr. Adrian 1. Honestly, this guy has never been in a good set in his life, and he's not that great. But I think he probably has like a great outside life. So, you know what, bruh? You got it. I'm gonna say he's like E tier. Next, we have Nitro Loves Me. And he's like not terrible. What the heck happened here? Okay, he's like not terrible. I think he's like the most base C tier player. Like, he's not bad. He's not really overgeared much. I think he's like your average, like, competent player. Alright, next we got Deader. And Deader is, like, not great, to be honest. But he's, like, not terrible, and he's sometimes in a good gear set. I've seen him in, like, a bunch of fights, but I don't see him drop too often. So I think he's in, like, a really low B tier. Yeah, I think that makes sense, low-key. Alright, and then next we got, is this Splash Gat? Oh, wait, this is Flaco, I think, or Flacco. Yeah, I think it's our Flacco. Okay, I can't lie, our Flacco is, like, not terrible. I think he could be, like, a really high B tier. I've seen him fight, he's, like, pretty geared. Most of the time, I think we tie in interactions when I fight him. So I think he sits in high B tier, maybe the highest of B tier. Alright, next we got Flope TJ, or I think, or Flop. Maybe Flope, I don't know. Okay, so this guy, my biggest pet peeve with this guy is he has a netherite sword that just sits in his PV. Netherite swords are like stupid hard to get on the server. So the fact that it just sits in his PV rotting, like, gets no playtime, bro. It's like mad annoying. And no offense, but he's geared and he's not that good. So I think he's like high C tier maybe. Next is Num Dum. Like, uh, he's like terrible. Nah, okay, that's a lie. He's not like great, but he's like not like horrendous. I could honestly see myself putting him above Mr. Adrian, so that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I think he sits right there. Next we have Interpin. Interpin's pretty good. Think if he's either really high A tier or low S tier. I think for now, I think I can put him at low S tier, but he's a really good player. I don't think he stands next to Bluffy, but he's up there. Next we have MB. MB's pretty good. I don't think he's bad. He's really geared. Maybe because he's an admin. Uh, I just don't see him drop. I don't think he's better than Render, but I don't think he's bad. So I think maybe I'll put him in like low S tier. He's probably around my level. Okay, so this is Nitro Loves You, I think. And Nitro Loves Me is right here. I think they're around the same skill level. I couldn't tell you the difference between them sometimes. Uh, but I think I'll leave it like they're like neck and neck. I don't think they're like better or something like that. Maybe they are. I don't know the lore between them, but for what I think actually Nitro Loves Me is like slightly better. Actually, no, other way around. There you go. Nitro Loves You is slightly better than Nitro Loves Me. All right, next we have Miguel King 1. Specifically Miguel King 1. You can make the argument that he's in the A tier, or not. Sorry, not the A tier, the S tier. But I think realistically speaking, he's probably in the high A tier. I want to say he's above Render. Render is pretty good, but I think he's above Render. So I think I'll leave Miguel in the high A tier. All right, this is PN5D. He's like I think I saw him drop like 3 times today, if I gotta be honest. But he's like not bad. I've actually fought him a few times. He could really be in the high C tier, but I think I've seen him with a Riptide sword. I've seen him like random various weapons. I think I'm gonna leave him at high C tier. Although you can make the argument that he is like a low B tier player. I don't think he's like terrible, but I think he's like a competent, like almost like a role playing player. All right, this is Worsley. From what I remember, Worsley used to play a lot. I don't think he plays as much anymore after he got demoted. But Worsley like rarely dropped. I always used to think Worsley was like not that good because every time I fought him, I feel like I'd win more interactions. But he's really good at playing low. I think Worsley, in same kit, I think I can beat him if I gotta be so honest. Because when I was in a worse kit than him and he was playing low, I actually stood a chance. So I think he's like really high B tier, or he can be like low A tier. I think for now I'll leave him at really high B tier because I don't see him play as much anymore. Maybe back then he could be up here, but like for now he's probably right here. All right, next we got VZVY. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but that's like the letters to it. I think he's like a decent player. I haven't seen him fight too much. I don't think he's better than Parrot or AQF. So I think I'm gonna put him like mid B tier. I think that's where he sits. I don't know too much about this player, but I think I've seen him like fight once or twice, and he wasn't like terrible. Next we have O Hoplite, or I just call him Hoplite. He could probably be in the highest A tiers, not A tier, B tier, but I think he's probably low A tier, maybe mid A tier. I think for now I'm gonna keep him at low A tier, but he's a pretty good fighter. As far as what I've seen, he's pretty competent and he doesn't drop too often. All right, next we have Tepair, and I like Tepair a lot. I gotta be honest, he's like low key pretty chill. I used to fight by him a lot, and he rarely dropped, and he always had a Kraken head on. But I think he's like high B tier. When he used to fight, maybe I would have put him like up here, but like now he's like over here with me, or like for me. So I don't think he's like the greatest. I don't think he's at all bad. I think he's like a above average player, right below Worsley. Next we have Crazy Raven Fan. I've fought him a bunch of times actually back when he used to play, and I'd kill him every time. He even accused me of hacking and said I toggled, which I'm not even good enough to be doing that. I think he's like your base C tier player. He isn't bad, but he's not like great. So I'll leave him here. All right, next we have Splash Gavin. He's like with bacon hair, 4.35. He's like not great, if I gotta be so honest. I think he chose right there, like just below. I see him on a little bit though. So we got RXD next, and he's like your pretty reliable teammate. He's like low key kind of trustworthy too. I think he's like low B tier in skill though, because I do see him drop a little bit here and there. And uh, yeah, that's about it, low key. All right, next we got Ratio, and Ratio is pretty good. He could really be in the high B tier or really low A tier. I think Ratio could probably sit behind Hoplite, like confidently. He's not bad. He actually does pull kills, and he has good gear sets when he used to play a lot. He doesn't play too often now, but he was pretty good back then. Alright, so next we have Mace MC player. Uh he's like not bad. I low key think he's cheating. He's like mid B tier. He really could give me the hands, and then sometimes he just can't. Like I was fighting this guy one time and he was handing it to me, and then all of a sudden he just, I don't know if he like untoggled or something, and then he just stopped playing good. So for that reason, I'm gonna leave him like right behind Parrot. I think that makes sense. Alright, this is Jinxel. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I fought him today, and he's pretty good. I think he's high B tier, maybe low A tier, because considering where I'd put myself, I'd probably put myself like really low A tier or high B tier. And I think he could probably take me in a 1v1. So for that, I'd probably put him at like low B tier, yeah. Frick, I meant low A tier. Okay, anyway. Alright, next we got Cobalt. Cobalt is like a C tier player. I don't think there's much to say about it. He's like not terrible. He's not great. Give him a set and he'll probably do something with it. That's about it. Next we got who I think is Zenith. He's like your C tier player. He's not great. Maybe he could really be really low B tier. But he's not great. I think he's like high C tier though. Like respectfully high C tier. That's like as low as he goes, I think. Alright, next we got I Love Hawk Tua. That's a pretty tough name if you ask me. He's not like terrible. I think he's like low B tier, maybe above RX and Deader. Yeah, I think that makes sense for I Love Hawk Tua. He's like always in a somewhat decent kit. He doesn't drop too much. He sits in spawn a lot. I don't know why. Okay, so I believe this is your E-Girl Knight. I think they're probably around like high B tier, maybe low B tier. Every time I fought this person, I was overgeared, so they didn't really stand too much of a chance. But like mechanically, I don't think they were that bad. So I think they can go right before 8QF. Yeah, I don't think they're terrible. The hell? Alright, this is Voided Death. I think he's like in between high and mid B tier. I think he can go above Parrot low key. I don't think Voided Death is too bad. He doesn't really drop. I mean, he doesn't really take ones too often though. But I think for now I'll keep him right here. And I'm making a revise. I think Senior Light is like low key better than Immature. Call me crazy. Okay, so I think this is Izzy Owns You. He's like oh shoot, did I mess something up? I hope not. Okay, he's like I, and I think I'd put him like in a low B tier. I don't think he's too bad. He used to be really geared, and then he dropped a lot. I don't know why, and he kind of stopped playing after he kept dropping. And I used to give this guy the hands in Astonic before I got washed. So I think he's like above Immature right there. I think that makes sense. Now we got It's Shadow, and oh, this guy isn't great. I think he's like, I think he could beat Bacon here in a 1v1, but not Cobalt. I think I'm gonna leave it here. I think that's where he sits. Now we got Finye. Finye back then was pretty good. Other than that, I don't know. He doesn't play too often anymore. I think he can be in like a little bit higher in the B tier though. I think I'm gonna put him just above Voided Death. I think that he's decent. And he used to gank a lot, but that's like besides the point. Alright, next we got M3 Coop, or I don't really know how you're supposed to spell it, but it's like M3, right? And I think M3 is pretty high up in the B tier, like better than Tepper, better than Worsley. I don't know, but M3 used to drop randomly though. Like he would give someone the hands and then kind of just drop to random people. So just for that, I'm gonna put him like right below Worsley. This is I think this is Nathan. He's like all right, maybe like a higher B tier. This guy, I think he was my first kill on the server in 1v1 rooms. So he also had media, but then he stopped posted. So I guess I don't know, but I think he's like mid B tier at best. If I gotta be honest, he wasn't too good, and he doesn't really play anymore. So I think I'm gonna leave him right there. And then lastly, we have me. As far as a player I go, I think I could probably beat Worsley in same kit, and I said that earlier. Like he'll still trash talk me all he wants. In fact, we could probably run it, but I think I'm low A tier at best. I don't know if I could beat anyone else above me. Maybe Hoplite, but Hoplight's like kind of decent. So, but yeah, I think this is where I stand. Mechanically, I'm decent. I'm always overgeared. I don't really drop unless it's bluffy. I get ganked all the time and I don't die. So yeah, I think that's where I stand. And that's my ranking for Little Gens. If you disagree, like, cool, you can go tell me. I can move it around one day. But until then, yeah, that's about it.